Cuento Crimen Podcast. We are a true crime podcast, and these are cases that don't get much media attention, so chances are you haven't heard of some of these cases. Come join us every Wednesday for a new true crime case. Hey everyone!
Hola todos.
This is Shahaira.
And this is Stephanie, and welcome back to Cuento Crimen Podcast.
But of course, this is the How I Almost Got Kidnapped segment of our podcast. And Steph and I, before we started recording, we were saying how we feel really, really rusty because obviously y'all seen the last video that went up. We were at Nashville, and that was like a month ago now. So since then, we haven't recorded a video.
Yeah.
I have not been here at the studio for, well, basically since the baby was born. So yeah, it feels like
3 months, 4 months?
3 months. He just turned 4 months on the 3rd. So I guess 4 months.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. But I mean, it's nice to come back, and it's nice to like be in the setting and, you know, getting to it. It's also been really hot where we're from.
Really hot. Like 80s, 90s?
Yeah, we almost hit 90 last week. And I know some of y'all are going to be hearing like, 90, that's nothing. I know you'll say like people from Texas, people from Florida, like y'all deal with the heat. But we are from the Bay. So the Bay, like we're used to like 70s.
Yeah.
Like that's the perfect day here. Like a good 72 degrees.
Perfect. So anything higher than that it's a lot for us
hot
to handle.
Especially like 90 degrees. Are you kidding me? Like,
yeah.
No. And then the thing also too that like I tell like people, it's like, okay, people in Texas, like, yeah, it's really hot, or like, you know, other states, but y'all have AC, you know,
don't.
because y'all have that heat. We don't. If it's 85 degrees, we got to put up with 85 degrees because it's rare. Like, it's honestly, rare. It's just going to be like a little wave.
Half the people might have AC, or maybe 70-30. I don't know.
But not like a central AC,
it's not essential
It's
for
like
us.
the portable, you know, the ones
The portable
like
ones, or the one you
yeah.
have to have like the whole thing, like the hose thing outside the window.
Exactly. My mom has one. I mean, it works fine, but you know, it's just, okay. First world problems. But okay. Anyways, we do want to give a quick shout out because we have been getting submissions, which has been really cool. I mean, not cool that y'all experience that, but pretty cool that, you know, people are engaging with the segment. And so we will get to those submissions. It's just we already had like a little, what would you say, like a document, and then it's just like we just went down the stories. So all those submissions are probably coming up as we scroll down.
Yeah.
And so yeah. Before we start, do you have anything else to say?
No, I don't think we have any updates right now.
You know, I think we're just getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
So yeah. So are we ready?
Yes, let's do it.
So I guess I'll start off the first story. So this story, we decided to call it Taxi. This is still a story that we got from Reddit. So basically, this is all we got. So, okay, I'll start. It says, I had just arrived to JFK from Australia with my then partner. I was so excited to be in America. While collecting our baggage, we heard the announcements about not getting into unmarked taxis, etc. We were going outside looking for a taxi when a guy comes up and says, "Looking for a taxi?" To which we replied, "Yes." He takes my suitcase out of my hand and starts wheeling it towards the car park. I got nervous as we left the lighted area, and then we pulled up to a dark Mercedes-looking car. I said to my partner, "I think we should go back," to which the guy replies, "Don't worry, baby, I'm legit." I grabbed my suitcase back super fast, and we hightailed it to the real yellow taxi. The driver told us we could have been robbed, kidnapped, or worse. And the writer of this post was, their handle is at @spruce_moose.
That's wild. I feel like that's kind of common feeling. I feel like for myself when I travel and like there's a lot of taxis and ride offers when you are at the airport, and like how do you know one is legit over the other?
Yeah, especially I feel like in a country that you're not used to. So like I feel like right here, you know, here in the US, I feel like we're used to Ubers, right? And so I feel like that's kind of a little bit easier because you have to go through the app and stuff. But like I've heard a lot of horror stories like from Mexico, like even fake Ubers at Mexico, you know, and I don't know, I it is scary because I feel like in the moment you might not think about it too much. Like you're just kind of like, I just need a taxi, I need to get to where I get to. But it's very important. Like I feel like an airport is definitely like scammer scammer city.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you would think that it's safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you don't know who is there and what's legit.
Yeah. And like again, like stories of like this being like a whole like operation of like just, you know, like they have the head and then like people just sending and, you know, it goes into like the whole like human trafficking and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad though that this person kind of was like, okay, like let's see what this guy is all about. But then you get there, not like your average taxi. So he was like, I'll skedaddle.
Yeah. Okay, and so now we're going to go into the second story. This one is also from Reddit by the writer Riot Girl CKB. And the story goes like this. I am 21 years old, but look around 16, and I was sitting at a bus stop with my sister after taking her to the doctor's last year. At around 11 a.m. in a quiet little town just near mine. The bus stop had the back facing to the road and people are not visible to cars or the bus on the road. When sitting at the shelter, I was standing at the pole of the bus stop waiting to signal the bus while my sister was sitting at the shelter. A white car pulled up to me with a middle-aged man driving, and he tells me, and I quote, "Get in, I'll give you a lift," end quote. I said, "No, mate, I'm fine." He then proceeds again to say, "Get in, I'll give you a lift." And I said, "No, mate, I'm fine, thanks, I'll just wait for the bus." I could see he was getting visibly angry and ended up screaming at me, "Get in the car." I just said, "Nope," and walked back towards the shelter where my sister was. And he sped off, just as another man approached the shelter. Only occurred to me once I got home exactly what had happened and what may have happened. To onlookers, it may have seemed as though I was getting into a friend's car and then never seen again. And I thought about my sister. If I had gotten in, would he have heard her too? Or if I had, would she had even noticed that I was gone? This really affected me for about a week after realizing what could have happened.
I saw on Facebook on one of the reels and she was like decorating her kitchen and then it said it was like a little frame and then inside the frame it said like it was a lady looking like this and then she was like trying to find where men get the audacity and like that was like my reaction when like the man was yelling at him like get in the car. Like first of all, who do you think you are talking to me like that? And I'm not gonna get in your car. So you can go ahead and just go on with your day.
Yeah. Like why are you talking to her that way? You don't know her. She doesn't owe you anything. No. And you're getting mad because she's not listening to you. But like, of course she's not. Like, what do you think?
It's wild to me. Like, no shame.
Yeah.
No shame, you know? But I am glad though. Like, obviously the number one rule is never ever get in a car with a stranger.
Yeah.
Because once, I don't know, I feel like once you're in a car, I feel like you lose a certain amount of control because it's like you know it's going to be harder to escape. It's going to be harder to come out of. So I'm glad that this person knew better than to accept that car, right?
Yeah, and then like being left with the what ifs, like what could have happened. Those are also kind of hard to like let go or like not think about, like because they're in your head, you know. Like what if he would have gotten out of the car and like been more forceful, you know? So
it also kind of almost feels like kind of like they're violating you, doesn't it? Because well, not I don't know if that's the right word, but like I don't know, I feel like if that was me, right, and then this person seems like had malicious intentions of me getting into the car, now I'm wondering like, well, how long ago were they looking at me? Were they following me? Do they know where I live? Like, is this going to be continuing to happen? Like, today he asked me to get in the car. Is tomorrow he's just going to come and grab me? Like, I feel like the what ifs lay heavy because it's very much real life and you just don't know the extremes that this person is going to take to get to you.
Yeah. So it's like very like haunting questions and thoughts, you know?
Yeah. But at the same time, I do feel like it helps you become much more aware of your surroundings and just just always stay on your toes.
Yeah.
You don't know.
But yeah, those are the 2 stories that we have for this video. Please submit your stories to our email, cuentocrimenpodcast@gmail.com, or you can send your story to our Instagram. Our handle is @cuentocrimenpodcast. And yeah, thank you for watching this week's episode, and we'll see y'all next time.